you have to concern yourself with when you're trying to fit that ball in behind him to Jordan Addison. But an excellent job by Jalen Johnson. He has had really his best year of his career. There's the penalty on number 6. It's Kyler Gordon. He's saying that
number
the
6
helmet was broken.
That's his first towards disqualification.
Well, they're even doubling down and saying that it's a taunt instead of taking his helmet off, but his face mask came off.
Yeah, and that just doesn't happen, you know. So somebody obviously grabbed it along the way, and he takes the helmet off, which I totally understand with the face mask just dangling. I guess if you can go in and replay something, I guess that would be the time to do it, although they won't, right, John?
Yeah, there may have been something near that sideline that took that mask off.
Well, the penalty erases the 19-yard return by Jalen Johnson, who was quoted earlier this month as saying, arguably, I feel like I'm the best corner in the game right now. He's a free agent to be. As Fields throws it away, and when the trade deadline was here, and there's a flag down on this play for an ineligible man downfield.
Well, they were trying to run the screen pass to the opposite side of the field.
Ineligible downfield. Offense number 64. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Well, the interception by Jalen Johnson, who wasn't traded and wasn't extended. But Brandon Powell and he come together on the sideline, and Powell, it goes out of frame, but then Kyler Gordon comes away with his face mask flopping around, took his helmet off, and got the penalty.
Yeah, chances are as they got deeper into that sideline, that's when that action took place.
Cody Whitehair is taken over for the injured Tevin Jenkins at left guard.
All start. Offense number 58. The 5-yard penalty, second down.
They get the rookie Darnell Wright, so they have the interception. They have the good return. Then Gordon takes his helmet off. They go back 15. Then they've had 2 5-yard penalties, and all of a sudden the ball is back inside the 45.
Not good, huh?
Yeah, that's not good. Neither's this right here. Is this your illustrator?
Yeah,
he's right there.
Use it.
Came in with 42 penalties enforced on this offense, the most in the league, and they're adding to it.
I'm going to get you a stylus for this telestrator.
Appreciate it. Here's Herbert, and a nice tackle made by Murphy. Read it, dropped him, a gain of 1.
Yeah, so like you said, Joe, Chicago was set up nicely, and they are going the wrong direction in Minnesota, tightening things up. Byron Murphy here, number 7. Does an excellent job coming up and making a play. When you watch these corners for Minnesota, it's not surprising. I think Byron Murphy's a good player. I liked him when he was playing for the Cardinals as well. But these guys, some young players as well that are out there playing tonight, they come up and they hit people and they make tackles, and you would expect that from a defense as aggressive as Flores is.
3-man rush, that's it on 3rd and 14. Fields, Mooney overthrown. And then Mooney gets hit by Metellus.
When you talk about Darnell Mooney and the lack of opportunities or the lack of receptions that he's had, it's some of this type stuff when you watch him that, you know, this is as open as you can get, and he does an excellent job of finding a place for Fields to go with the football, and yet Fields just airmails him. But if you're able to drive the ball on him, of course, then you got Metellus, he's been a really good player this year for this defense. Plays a lot as the 3rd safety, but you know, as he got some attention, there's a big loss if he were unable to play. It looks like he's going to be okay, but he basically serves as the nickel, you know, there over the slot as they employ a 3-safety defense. But that should have been a pretty easy completion to Darnell Mooney.
So the Bears waste the good field position after the pick. They go backward with 3 penalties, and now on 4th down, Trenton Gill will come out and punt.
Well, that's a disappointing sequence of events after the penalty on Kyler Gordon that eliminated excellent field position, and then the penalties offensively, and then having to punt as an end result of this drive.
Gill just got that one away, and a fair catch by Powell. Flag is down back where Gill and Pat Jones came together. You can see Alex Kemp saying this is in the 5-yard variety.
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 91. That penalty is declined. First down, Minnesota. Timeout.
So the Vikings take over, down by 3. And Dobbs will head back to work coming off that pick. Handoff is to Chandler. And in the words of head coach Kevin O'Connell, he's our most explosive back. He can do a lot of things. He might get you in trouble in pass protection, but he's got a lot of speed.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he brings some real juice, so he's a threat anytime he has the football in his hands.
Here's one to the sideline for Addison. Incomplete, and Johnson was there again. A flag comes down in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, it's right back where Josh Dobbs was, so we'll see.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 99. A 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's the rookie Javon Dexter from Florida, 2nd-round pick.
Well, we'll take a look at it. He's able to get the inside pressure then on Josh Dobbs. He wins up front, and it looked like they got him for using his full body weight when he took Dobbs to the ground.
Yeah, that's full body weight, and the brace comes late, which makes it a foul for roughing the passer.
5th penalty against the Bears, 4th accepted penalty, and that moves the ball outside the 30. Here's KJ Osborne. Not much room. Jalen Johnson's having a game. Out there, made the stop.
Well, Jalen Johnson, as we said, he's having the best year of his career. He's been really outstanding, and he got the interception. He's had some opportunities, but that was just his 4th career interception, and would have had a big one against Detroit if he'd been able to land that one.
Addison gets brought down immediately. Play by Terrell Smith, the rookie who is playing in place of the injured Tyreek Stevenson, who hurt his ankle late in the week. He's not active. So you've got Smith, Gordon, and Johnson playing corner tonight with that good safety combination of Brisker and Eddie Jackson. It's 3rd down and 5.
Well, and it's a little bit of the Deion Sanders effect. When you're playing opposite of him, in this case playing opposite of Jalen Johnson, you got a target on your back. You're going to get a lot of throws in your direction.
Addison in motion on 3rd down and 5. Dobbs, penalty flag, and Hawkinson can't make the catch, but there are 2 flags in the secondary. The indication is against Chicago.
Yeah, I think where the flag came out, it might have been a hold against Hawkinson or even KJ Osborne, maybe both of them, that there was some grabbing. The defense that doesn't play a lot of man coverage was locked up there.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 4. That penalty is declined. Illegal contact, defense number 32. That penalty is accepted, 5 yards, automatic first down.
Yeah, so both of the ones that I saw are the ones that they called. There were 2 flags that came out. So they got Eddie Jackson on holding Hawkinson, number 87. And then the rookie that we talked about, Terrell Smith, he was holding KJ Osborne as he's trying to come out of his break.
45 penalty yards already on the board for Chicago. Dobbs, good protection. First completion, that's the fullback C.J. Ham. Johnson over there to make the stop and a gain of 4.
Yeah, so they've got a little bit of the play action going. Haven't seen as much yet anyway. That was just their 11th offensive snap here in this first half. But as far as getting Josh Dobbs outside of the pocket and get him on the edge with his speed and some of the things that he's able to do, that's where he can really threaten and has in the games that he's played.
They hand it to Powell. Brandon Powell knocked down at the 49 by Terrell Smith. And third down coming up, and Smith a little slow getting up. TJ Edwards missed a tackle. Terrell Smith did not.
You know, Brandon Powell, he's the guy who's benefited by Justin Jefferson being injured. He's stepped up, and now he's played the third wide receiver role. All of these guys, Jordan Addison included, they've all had to elevate one, and they're all playing out of position by one man. Jordan Addison should be your number 2. He's had to be your 1. And Powell should be playing your 4th, but he's had to get a lot more snaps.
Dobbs too hot, and on the deflection, an interception by Brisker. It was off the hands of Addison, and Brisker is there for the takeaway. And that throw from Dobbs had some heat on it.
Yeah, in the words of Collinsworth, we know what he would say, but great timing by Josh Dobbs. He turns that ball loose before Addison ever gets to the top of his route. And I don't want to say it surprised Addison, but it was coming in pretty hot. And this is one you got to catch, but just it got on him so quickly, and a great job catching that ball by Brisker away from the job that Brisker does laying out and being able to intercept that pass.
Here's DJ Moore getting the pass on the edge. Fields has been good hitting some of these short throws with receivers in stride. A gain of 11 after back-to-back Vikings drives end with an interception. We'll see if the Bears can do anything with this one.
Well, and I think that was what was so frustrating in their loss to Detroit a week ago, that they were able to get 4 takeaways. They had 3 interceptions, you know, on Jared Goff, and then they forced a fumble that they recovered, and yet they weren't able to capitalize and win that football game. That's their 2nd takeaway now tonight. Let's see what they can do with it.
Here's a quarterback run, and Fields gets hit, and hit hard. A loss of 1. Sheldon Day, who was just added to the active roster, and that had an exclamation point on it with Fields the runner.
Yeah, we saw Sheldon Day earlier in the first quarter, how he was able to get pressure on Fields in the pocket. That's an outstanding job by Sheldon Day, being able to shed the blockers and come up and take care of them.
Metellus cleaned up. 2nd and 11. Handoff is to Roshan Johnson, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage, gets 2. Harrison Phillips in there on the stop.
Well, you look at this defense and what they were able to do a week ago with the turnovers against Denver. They gave the ball to Denver one time on the 9-yard line and another time on the 30-yard line, and both times Denver had to settle for field goals. So they don't use it as an excuse. If the offense turns the ball over, they have to come out and play defense and make a stop, and they force it now, another 3rd and long.
Blitz. Fields incomplete from Moore. Daniil Hunter had pressure. Metellus was coming on a blitz, and it's 4th down, and that means the Bears now have not been able to convert their last 5 third-down attempts after going 3 for their first 3.
Well, you can beat the blitz even when you've got a rusher who's coming free like he is as a quarterback. If you get the ball out on time, which Fields does, he's got an open DJ Moore, and that's a 1st down if you're able to complete it. Just not able to quite get it where he wanted to get it. But I've seen a lot of times guys who are throwing on time, they can beat a free rusher with the football and deliver accurate throws.
Here's Brandon Powell. Nice catch of the punt, and now near side. Good return out of bounds near the 30. That was a strong 14-yard return. The tackle by Blasingame. Vikings get it back. Still down 3.
At Target, score great tech deals on everyone's wish list. Right now, save up to 40% on select TVs, soundbars.
It's been a roller coaster season for the Vikings. They started this year 0-3, losing all by less than 7 points. And they lose Justin Jefferson, injured week 5 against the Chiefs. They go to 1-4. Kirk Cousins, the Vikings, they win 3 in a row. They ended up extending that winning streak to 5. Third start by Josh Dobbs, who they added at the trade deadline. As Madison makes that catch and gets nothing on the play. Terrell Smith out there to make the stop, but here they are. They've maintained. They've gotten better as the season has gone on. They came close to winning, heck, last week against the Denver Broncos. But they're 5-1 without Jefferson at wide receiver.
Well, I think it's pretty incredible what Kevin O'Connell and his entire staff have done. They've had every reason to just lay it down, and they have refused to do that. Not only have they refused to do it, but they've moved the ball against other teams.
Here's Addison, breaks a tackle and gets a first down. Out of bounds near the 49. Terrell Smith couldn't bring him down, and Addison did the rest for 17.
Well, it's a good job prior to that run after the catch by Addison. This is an offense that only had 20 yards of total offense here in the first half. So they need to get something going offensively. Smith just unable to make the tackle. Addison turns what would have been a minimal gain into a pretty nice play.
We'll get an announcement from Alex Kemp. Brandon Powell was signaling prior to that snap, and let's make sure the knee wasn't down, and it was. So the tackle is good enough by Terrell Smith, and that wipes away the back end of that 17-yard catch and run.
Yeah, this was not a formal review. This is a replay assist. Clear and obvious that the knee is down, so they'll bring it back and set things back up.
You're getting a lot of time tonight, John.
Too much.
I mean, I could have handled that one.
I'll give you
After
the layup.
discussion, the runner was down at the 35-yard line. It's 3rd and 6.
I think we're all smart enough to know there are no layups. So it's a 4-yard gain instead of 17.
Well, big 3rd down. So it goes back to what I said. It was a minimal gain.
C.J. Ham is in there to help protect Dobbs on 3rd and 6. Dobbs to the sideline and nearly intercepted for the 2nd time tonight by Jalen Johnson.
Boy, Jalen Johnson, he was sitting out there just waiting for that route, and he knew where the first down marker was. He's got Hawkinson, so he's not worried about Hawkinson so much running by him, and he's just, now that was a ball, I mentioned the one, he doesn't want to hear about it, I know. I mentioned the one that he dropped last week against Detroit that likely wins the game if he makes that play. Detroit scores on the very next play. That's a pick 6 again, so back-to-back weeks he has an opportunity for a pick 6, just unable to make the play.
He can't hear you now anyway.
No, but he's got family.
He will just hear about it after and then be mad and probably post something online, and then you'll hear
Out there on the field on the far end and watch it, and he was counting 6 points.
Instead, back to work he goes, and DJ Moore is able to break this one for a big completion. Got a good block again from Equanimous St. Brown and a gain of 22.
Yeah, good job by DJ Moore, and he's one of these receivers. He's a bigger receiver, and he's good after the catch. And this is really when he's at his best. Good job up front in being able to make a block and giving him a place to go with the football. But just a quick pass, wide receiver screen, good blocking out there on the edge, and then he takes it and goes.
That was 22 yards, and here's a near walk-in touchdown for DJ Wanham as that pass from Fields hit him right in the chest.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, that's for a guy like him, an edge rusher, that would have been a heck of a play, but he's thinking, you know, he would have hit his head on the goalpost if he catches this. You just don't get a lot of opportunities like that.
He's got 4 sacks over his last 4 games in a contract year. He's playing great, DJ Wanham. Here's another completion behind the line of scrimmage, and DJ Moore is wrapped up by Troy Dye.
Well, they come right back to it, a little bit different version. They window dress it a little bit, but doesn't fool Minnesota whatsoever, and then they rally. And the one thing about it, if you're a pressure defense, you know that these offenses are going to get the ball out quick, especially an offense like Chicago, who's been pretty inconsistent. So they're anticipating those types of throws. And now they got him to 3rd and long. Flores has done 3-man rushes the last few times when he's gotten them to these down and distances, but looks like they're coming now.
Ngakoue got picked up. Now here's Fields just stumbling around and out of bounds short of first down yardage. It was Pat Jones, rather, who was coming and doing a stunt on the defensive front. He got picked up, but in the end, a 4-yard carry by Fields. It brings up 4th down, and we are at the 2-minute warning here in the first half in Minneapolis. Another punt upcoming by Chicago. As we go outside and up top, tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. A punt coming from the Bears, who lead by 3. This morning after the 1-10 start, Bryce Young on the right. Here's the punt by Gill. And Powell will let it go over his head and into the end zone. The Chicago Bears have 6 times as many yards as the Vikings, who have only 24 yards of offense in this first half, and yet they trail. The Vikings do by just 3 points.
Yeah, how about that? This 2023 version of the Chicago Bears defense, at least tonight, is looking like the '85 version.
And on the Minnesota side, nothing to feel good about yet.
Well, they can feel good about the fact that Dobbs hasn't thrown 4 interceptions, because he was on his way on a couple of them.
Here is Chandler trying to find somewhere to run, and with Justin Jones and Montez Sweat combining on the stop, a gain of 1. Jalen Johnson tonight, he is having a Monday night. He got 1, and he could have had another. He's making tackles. Here's the